So hi guys, Beltran here, the IT veteran, and in today's video, pag-uusapan naman natin yung IT career na pagiging isang tech support engineer. So let's get started. Now, edit ko lang ang ating screen para mailabas ko ang ating PowerPoint presentation. So, ayan na siya. So, itong pag-uusapan natin ngayon. The Tech Support Engineer Career Path. So, ano nga ba ang isang Tech Support Engineer? Marami actually siyang pangalan. Click lang natin yung ating PowerPoint. Marami siyang pangalan. A Tech Support Engineer is sometimes called Tech Support lang. Sometimes they are also called Help Desk Support and IT Support. Pero may mga ibang positions na medyo hindi or magkaiba ng konti, pero the general term for a tech support engineer is basically they give support, technical support to customers. So wag niyo i-confuse din yung gusto kong word na sabihin. Wag niyo i-confuse yung salitang technical support tsaka customer support, kasi these two words are actually very different from each other. Technical support deals more with resolving technical issues, while customer support naman deals more in terms of customer experience. So pag sinabing technical support yan, given na yan na may hahawakan kang equipment or you have to learn a hardware or a software. Pero pag sinabing customer support, then you're querying, sabi mo na account numbers, or customer information, mga ganun. More into the customer side of things. So, majority ng mga trabaho in terms of tech support engineers is more into yung call center style. Okay? Kasi alam nyo naman, mahilig mag-outsource ngayon ng mga kumpanya. And dyan nabubuhay rin ang Pilipinas sa BPO ngayon. BPO, kahit na pandemic ngayon, BPOs are actually thriving because everybody is staying home, and if they have issues with any of their equipment, whether cell phone yan, TV, computers, sino tinatawagan nila? Tech support. And saan pupunta yung mga tawag na yon? It's either here sa Pilipinas or sa India. Okay. So, primarily, tech support engineers will be on the phone. Now, meron ding namang mga tech support that are deployed sa mga customer sites. And ang classification nito, they are still called technical support engineers, pero more on the senior levels na sila. Sometimes they are also called field engineers. Kasi they specialize already in terms of troubleshooting the actual hardware itself. Yung kung hindi na siya makuha in terms of remote support, diyan na papasok yung mga field engineers natin. Okay? But still, they are tech support engineers. Pero karamihan ng mga tech support engineer positions na makikita nyo talaga is more into, sa ngayon nasa BPO side siya. Okay? May mga ibang kumpanya na hindi pa rin nag-outsource. They keep the tech support department in-house sa kanilang kumpanya, pero majority of big companies today are outsourcing their tech support staff, okay, sa mga BPOs natin dito sa Pilipinas. And tech support engineers are very good at troubleshooting, okay, and certain equipments that they specialize in. Okay, so kunyari napasok ka sa isang PC tech support account, for example, you will become very good at troubleshooting lahat ng aspects ng PC na yan in terms of yung sa model, ano yung mga specs. Ganon din when kapag napunta ka naman sa internet service provider na tech support engineer, you will become very proficient in terms of configuring yung mga modems, IP addressing, and troubleshooting yung Wi-Fi, and so much more. So ang specialty talaga ng tech support is troubleshooting and incident management. So tinetrain din sila to handle issues ng mga customers in terms of Asa na yung aking pointer dito? Labas natin yung pointer natin. Incident detection, ang ibig sabihin nito, di ba, pagtatawag yung customer, they will describe the issue to the tech support. So, ilalag niya yon sa system and ika-classify niya. Okay? Then from there, once na ma-classify niya anong type ng issue meron yung customer, then he gives initial support, basic troubleshooting. Then, kung hindi siya makuha sa basic troubleshooting, they dig more in-depth into yung more anong technical term, more in-depth troubleshooting. Yan na lang, i-simplify na lang natin. So, more in-depth diagnosis and investigation. Then, once na maayos na nila yon, they go to resolution and recovery. Ano ibig sabihin nito? They tag the issue as solved or resolved already. Then, they close the incident. And, ito yung hindi nakikita primarily ng mga customers. Incident monitoring and communication, which I will explain later. Bakit napaka-importante itong last step na to. Pero primarily, they handle from the initial opening ng issue ng customer until sa resolution part. Yun ang trabaho ng tech support engineer. And they specialize really, they are very good at troubleshooting kung anong hardware or software man sila na trade. Bakit ganon? Why are they so proficient? Okay? I'll explain that in another slide. Pero primarily, ang gagawin ng mga tech support engineers is they try to resolve things remotely. Kasi nga, nasa telephone sila eh. And they are talking with the customer and guiding the customer in terms of how to resolve the issue itself. Kung minsan naman, they have access to remotely access yung devices ninyo. Pero primarily, most of the time, they will be guiding you step by step. Okay. So, pero once na hindi talaga siya maayos in terms of remote troubleshooting, then saka darating yung mga on-site technical support engineers natin or yung mga field engineers to actually troubleshoot the hardware on-site. So, may kita nyo dito, meron siyang sinasabing error, then may codes siyang sinasabi dyan. Sabihin ng mga codes na yan and mga error messages. Tech support engineers know this kinds of descriptions kasi the manufacturer is actually giving them access to its own database on how to solve each individual error code and display type sa kung anumang equipment yung sinusupport nila, whether phone yan, or computer, or TV, or Wi-Fi. The manufacturer actually gives them access, okay, to all the technical aspects ng equipment na yun. So, they are, this is the reason why they are so good at troubleshooting, okay, step by step. Kasi, some companies actually give already the script, yung sasabihin ng tech support engineer on how to guide the customer in terms of incident resolution. And kung minsan naman, kailangan hanapin ng tech support engineer kung ano yung problema, then they go to or they check out itong reference guide in terms of troubleshooting. May technical term dito eh. Nasa tip ng tongue ko pero hindi ko siya mailabas. Ano tawag dito? White sheets ang tawag. Yung technical term. Sometimes, anong tawag dito? I forgot the description. Nasa isip ko, hindi ko lang mailabas. Pero, basically, andito yan. Meron silang sinusunod na script or meron silang sinusunod na process. So, doon sa computer ng tech support engineer, nakalagay ito. Then, they guide the customer step by step. And, they also take care of incident creation. So, kunyari, pag tumawag ka kay PLDT, they create a ticket for you. And, saan nila ginagawa yon dito sa ticketing system. Okay? Ticketing system is very important. And I will discuss this later. Okay? So, halos lahat ng mga kumpanya Whether si Delian, Cisco, Brother, Epson, ano pa ba? Itong mic na gamit ko or yung webcam na gamit ko ngayon, Logitech, or yung computer, the monitor, or yung cellphone na gamit ko, all of these companies have their own tech support staff. Kasi with the multitude of devices na nilalabas nila, okay, someone needs to support the customers whenever they're using this one. Kasama yan sa package whenever you buy a certain product. Kaya tayo may tinatawag na warranties. Kasi if something goes wrong sa inyong phone, for example, sinong tatawagan nyo? The tech support of this specific company or this specific mobile brand. So, ganun din sa printers, sa laptops ninyo, hard drive, Wi-Fi. Okay. May kanya-kanyang tech support engineers yung mga yan. Now, there's a common misconception sa pagiging isang tech support engineer. And majority ng naririnig ko na negative side about, sabi nila, being a tech support engineer is it's a dead-end job daw. Yun yung stigmatism eh. Wala daw career path na pwede kang puntahan whenever you're in a tech support engineer. Pero for me that's actually a very wrong misconception. Tech support engineers are very crucial. Okay, highlight ko lang yung word crucial sa isang company. Bakit? They are the most important staff kasi they are the ones na nagsusupport ng mga products and services ng isang kumpanya. Whether hardware yan or software yung kailangan nilang isupport, they are the lifeblood, okay, of the company. Sila yung pinaka-frontliner. Kasi kung nag-fail ang isang kumpanya in terms of their tech support engineers, it actually impacts the performance of the company. Bakit? Nagkakaroon ng common misconception, nagkakaroon ng negative feedback yung mga customers in terms of buying a certain product from that company again or leaving in reviews. Kaya they are the frontliners. Very, very important sila sa isang kumpanya. Kasi kung walang tech support engineers, wala kang upgrades ng phone mo. Wala kang updates, walang iPhone 12 ngayon, walang iPad, walang ano pa? Walang face recognition sa phone mo. Okay? Saan lahat nang galing yung mga ideas na yan? They came from the tech support engineer. And actually, they came from the feedback of the customers to the tech support engineers. So, napaka-crucial ng mga tech support engineers sa isang company. Kasi they are the ones really tracking and nasa front lines on how to do continuous service improvement. Okay. Sila yung nagtatag ano yung mga bagong bugs na lumalabas or ano yung mga typical issues na lumalabas kapag may bagong model ng cellphone mo or may bagong labas na modem ng webcam na ginagamit ko ngayon or pag nagkakaroon ng problema yung mga equipment, either hardware yan or software, sila yung nagre-report nun. Sila yung nagko-collate lahat ng data actually. Then what the company does is they analyze. Kaya tayo, kung babalik tayo rito sa incident monitoring and communication, kaya tayo merong ticketing system sa isang kapag tumatawag ka sa tech support ng brand or equipment na ginagamit mo, is yung incident monitoring and communication na yon is actually being used by the company to continuously improve yung service nila and get feedback kung ano yung mga sira na yung typical na sira ng isang specific hardware model, for example. Then doon nila nakikita na okay, may problema itong equipment na to. Ang daming nagre-report na ganito yung issue nila. Then they get that into the engineering team ng company to try and figure out ano yung issue nung bakit ba nagkakaroon ng problema yung mga customers in terms of this issue. Can we patch it or do we need to resolve it on the next model ng hardware na lalabas? Okay, doon nangyayari yung improvement ng equipments. So, primarily kay tech support nang gagaling yung continuous service improvement ng product. Then, what the company does is they utilize something called a Six Sigma methodology, which nakikita nyo dito sa screen. Six Sigma is more into how do you measure kung gaano ka-effective yung customer service ninyo, for example, or yung processes ng business ninyo, or the product itself. Okay, so, dyan tinitignan yan. But basically, yun. Tech support engineers are very crucial because they are the initiators of continuous improvement ng mga products na nilalabas ngayon and future innovations. Kung walang tech support, wala kayong iPhone 12 ngayon. Wala kayong Bluetooth headsets ngayon. Wala kayong ano pa? Basically, any improvement sa mga products nyo. Okay? Kasi kahit na ako, I'm a network engineer. Okay? I know almost anything about networking and IT security, for example. Pero pag nagkaroon ako ng problema sa isang server ko or sa isang router ko, okay, sinong tatawagan ko? Tech support pa rin yan eh. Kasi they have access to that hardware that I'm not actually allowed to or I don't have typical access to it. Yung manufacturer lang ang may alam kung paano ayusin yon or paano puntahan yung specific aspect ng machine na yon. And if something goes wrong to one of my servers, kunyari yung SIP servers ko, sino tatawagan ko? Tech support pa rin yan. Okay? So, halos lahat ng equipment in terms of sa IT, tech support ang tatawagan nyo. And they will be the ones to help you out. Okay? So, kung hindi na kaya ng initial tech support yan, it will be escalated and escalated and escalated. Okay? So, habang tumataas yung escalation mo, nagiging mas magaling yung mga nag-a-assist sa'yo. Okay? In terms of incident resolution. So, what do you expect when you get hired as a tech support engineer? Unang-una, you will be expected to be trained in terms of number one, communication. Okay? You will be trained primarily first in communication. Bakit? Katulad nga na sinabi ko sa inyo, tech support engineers are frontliners yan eh. Sila yung mga sumasagot ng mga tawag ng customers whenever they have a problem with any of their equipment. So, doon muna kayo tinetrain as a tech support engineer. More on the communication skills. Then, once you pass your communication skills, then they train you na doon sa mga equipment or products that you will be specializing in. So, kunyari, ako, naging tech support ni Samsung. So, then, ang ititrain sa akin is, for example, specific product, S20. So, doon ako magiging magaling sa S20 na yun. Kasi, ituturo sa akin yung mga aspects and certain details ng S20 na usually walang access yung mga customers. Okay? So, yun, they teach you all about the hardware itself, ano yung specifications, nasaan yung SIM card slot nito, ano yung battery capacity, lahat yan ituturo sa'yo. And even the in-depth menus sa loob nan and yung mga hidden cellphone na to, lahat yan ituturo sa'yo in terms of the troubleshooting part. Then from there, they will teach you already how to do incident monitoring, incident tracking. So, may mga tools kang gagamitin inside yung sa pagiging tech support engineer mo that will help you troubleshoot any concern, virtually any concern ng customer. Okay, so, from incident detection and incident classification. So, kunyari, may problema ako sa battery. Automatically, kinakategorize ka agad ng tech support yan as a battery incident. Okay? Tapos yung next customer na tatawag, nagkakaroon siya ng problema with the screen. So, ika-categorize niya as a screen incident. Then, he will provide you support. And if hindi kaya sa initial troubleshooting, more in-depth troubleshooting, then resolution and recovery, incident closure, then incident monitoring. So, incident monitoring, that goes to the business itself. And using ITIL and Six Sigma, doon nila i-improve. Doon nagkakaroon ng improvement or innovation for the product. So, nakikita nila ilan ba nagkakaproblema sa battery versus sa screen. Doon nakikita ng business yan. You will also be trained doon sa mga tools na ginagamit, yung mga applications na ginagamit for opening the ticket, helping you troubleshoot the equipment, yung remote access to the equipment itself. Yan, ituturo lahat sa iyo in terms of yung applications na gagamitin. That will help you do your job as a tech support engineer. Then, once you graduate from the tools, then saka kanila isasabak na to support the customers itself. So, yan, mag-receive ka na ng tawag, then you try to support the customers as best as you can. And as you get more proficient in terms of troubleshooting, you can be upgraded or promoted to higher levels of being a tech support engineer. So, meron tayong level 1 tech support engineers, usually yung mga baguhan yan and the frontliners. Then, may mga tao dyan sa mga frontliners na yan, tsaka mga baguhan that will be actually upgraded into the level 2 support kasi they are providing or mataas yung statistics nila in terms of customer resolution. They are able to troubleshoot also very well, so nagiging level 2 support sila. Then from there, they can also move again to level 3 specialists and so on and so forth. Ano yung mga career paths and IT certifications na pwede mong kunin as a tech support engineer? Now, being a tech support engineer, hindi natin malalaman kung ano yung hahawakan mo na technology or equipment. Pero it can be classified into two categories. Hardware and software. So, kunyari, napunta ka, so sa hardware part muna tayo. You can actually branch out into the different manufacturers and specializations that you want. So, you can go with networking. So, you can go with desktops. You can go with servers. Pero ganito ang recommendation ko sa inyo. If you become a tech support engineer and ang hinawakan mo kunyari is an ISP account, tapos majority ng kanilang mga equipment na ginagamit is Huawei. So, meron tayong certifications actually from Huawei that you can actually take to become more proficient in terms of troubleshooting Huawei equipment. Okay, ganun din kay Dell. If you're supporting Dell computers or Dell servers sa pagiging tech support engineer mo, you can actually take Dell certifications to become more proficient at it. Ganun din. So, kung nag-work ka naman as a Cisco TAC engineer, then you go with networking. CompTIA is also good, and Microsoft if you're more into yung operating system, for example, or tech support ka in terms of licensing, then you go with you try and learn more into the product. Yun yung gusto ko sabihin sa inyo. Try to learn more or be proficient in terms of yung product na sinusupport mo sa tech support engineer. Now, in terms of the software path naman, kung nasa software account ka na tech support engineer, then you can go with more into yung kunyari, yung application na sinusupport mo is more gumagamit siya ng majority of its databases and programming is Java or Oracle, then you go with Oracle. Okay? Try to be more proficient in Oracle. Ganun din, if yung account na hinahawakan mo or yung product na hinahawakan mo has some Linux in it, then be proficient in Linux. Ganun din sa MySQL. Ganun din kung sa CRM, yung hinahawakan yung application, then you go with CRM. May mga certain certifications yan. Yun yung gusto kong i-highlight sa video na to. Tech support is not a dead-end job. Okay? It's only going to be a dead-end job if you want it to be a dead-end job. Pero if you are seeing the opportunity na yung nahawakan mong equipment ngayon, okay, ito yung gusto ko sabihin sa inyo. Yung mahahawakan mong equipment, whether hardware yan or software, ngayon, okay, might seem to be a dead-end job. Pero once you leave or you specialize into the different career paths ng pagiging isang IT, yung mga natutunan mo dito basta pagiging isang tech support engineer mo will actually become useful in the future. So, ganun din ako. Nagtrabaho din ako with Cisco as a Cisco TAC engineer. Ang specialization ko nun is more on the iOS, yung operating system ng mga routers and switches. So, meron kaming ginagamit way back 2005, 2006. Ang ginagawa namin, nagsho-show, may command kami ina-enter sa router and switch. Then, kukunin namin yung output na yun, ipipaste namin sa tool namin or sa application Cisco. Tapos, malalaman namin doon kung may bug ba yung operating system o wala. Okay, so marami akong natutunan doon in terms of yung mga outputs, CPU utilizations, mga maliliit na items na usually ang may access lang sa Cisco. Then nung naging network engineer na ako, ang laking tulong nung mga maliliit na bagay na yon in terms of me being able to troubleshoot more efficiently sa pagiging network engineer ko. Pero syempre, kung hindi ko na kaya, or may talagang hindi ako ma-solve, then that's the time I call the tech support of Cisco. Okay, so ganun din. I'm also handling ngayon SIP servers. Okay. Yung mga SIP servers na yun is under kay Oracle. Ano ba yung kwan na yun? Acme Packet yata. Okay, Acme Packet yata yung hawak kong SIP servers. Now, you need to be proficient in troubleshooting Oracle din. Pero kung hindi mo na kaya, then you call Oracle and have one of their tech support engineers assist you dun sa concern mo. Kasi mas marami silang alam sa'yo okay, kaysa ikaw na end user. Okay, the tech support engineer always knows more than the user itself. Kasi mayroon silang access to information that is not typically available sa mga regular users. So, yun yung mga career path. Yun yung gusto kong i-specify sa inyo. A tech support engineer career is not a dead-end job. It will only be a dead-end job if you want it to be a dead-end job. Pero if you see the opportunity that a tech support engineer career is going to be giving you and you can learn from it, then specialize on that one. Okay. Now, syempre, hindi ka pwedeng mag-specialize during yung work hours mo kasi you're supporting the customers eh. Usually, ang magiging learning path mo as a tech support engineer is you do your work during the day, then you learn more about the technology that you're supporting, or if you want to support other technologies sa gabi. Okay? So, yun, continuous improvement lang. Yun lang naman ang game ng IT eh. Continuous improvement and continuous learning. If you to continue to learn, then you will continue to progress sa pagiging isang IT. So, ayan. That's the tech support engineer position. So, think of a tech support as a stepping stone sa career mo sa pagiging isang IT. It's not the end of your career. It's a jump point, okay, of your career. Okay? Kasi, this is something that you have to understand. While you're working as a tech support engineer, you're earning income. Okay? Yung income na yon, okay, you can actually set aside a portion of it for your education into other fields ng pagiging isang IT. So, kunyari, ang interest mo talaga is more into the networking side, then you can use the tech support engineer career as a stepping stone to be able to feed yourself, syempre, and make a living. And at the same time, you can actually also use a portion of yung earnings mo as a tech support engineer to further yung career mo sa pagiging isang IT by taking online classes and continuous improvement, learning more about the technology that you want or you are supporting. And from there, you will actually become or go into other fields. Pero usually, tech support engineers are very critical sa isang kumpanya and they are, you can think of them as a stepping stone. Yung pagiging tech support engineer mo is going to be a stepping stone in your career as an IT professional. So, anong skill sets ang kailangan for being may typo tayo sa screen? This should be tech support engineers, pero hindi ko na yan may edit kasi this is a one-shot take. So, tech support engineer, ang requirements primarily ng isang tech support engineer is hindi siya masyadong picky in terms of kung ano yung technical skills mo. It's more on the soft skills ang tinitignan as a tech support engineer. Kasi yung company na papasukan mo, they will be the ones to give you the training naman eh. So even if you don't know the product that you're going to support, okay lang yan. You can still apply as a tech support engineer and yung kumpanya mo na ang bahalang mag-train sa'yo to become very proficient at that specific hardware or software application or equipment. So, ang pinaka-importante as a tech support engineer is, yun nga, ability to learn new things kasi marami kang pag-aaralan in terms of yung aspects ng iso-support mong equipment. Then, also, you need to be very good in communication skills kasi frontliner ka, you will be talking to a lot of customers. And then, problem solving. Okay. Bakit problem solving? Kasi sometimes yung magiging problema ng customer is wala doon sa guide mo na binigay ng manufacturer. 'Di ba? Pinakita ko sa inyo kanina, meron tayong guide na sinusunod. Na sinusunod mostly ng tech support engineer, pero sometimes wala doon yung sagot, so you have to do manual troubleshooting. Ganun din. You need to be a researcher. You need to be updated with yung news, kung ano yung mga bagong fixes kunyari, or may database kayo na nandun lahat yung issues. You have to learn and continue to research yung mga problema ng customers there. Ano pa? Analytical, syempre, you have to understand this one. Hindi mo nakikita yung tina-troubleshoot mo. Even though you have a guide, ang ginagawa mo as a tech support engineer is ini-imagine mo yung kung yung ginagawa ng customer and kung nasang step na siya sa pag-guide mo in terms of the troubleshooting process ng equipment or product na binili niya or sinusupport mo. And also, customer service skills. Warningan ko na kayo as a tech support engineer. And primarily, it's parte na ng buhay mo as a tech support engineer na kung minsan irate yung customer. It's a term sa BPO. Ang ibig sabihin ng irate is naiinis na or galit na yung customer. Then you have to you have to pacify the customer. And while pacifying, you actually start solving his or her problem. So may mga customers kang ma-encounter na mababait. Meron ka rin customers na makakausap na hindi maganda magsalita sa'yo. Pero that's the part of life of a tech support engineer. Okay? Kahit na ngayon, kunyari, nagkakaroon kayo ng problema sa internet ninyo. Kung minsan, galit na galit ka nang tatawag doon sa internet service provider ninyo. Okay? So, sino yung makakausap mo at the other end? That's a tech support engineer. Another person din lang yan. Okay? So, ang tip ko lang sa inyo, kung tatawag man kayo sa tech support engineer ng isang product na hinahawakan ninyo, be courteous kasi at the end of the day, tao rin yun eh. Okay? Kung kayo din ang nasa situation niya, tas kayo yung tech support engineer, galit yung customer na tumatawag sa inyo, you would also feel the same thing. So, since nasa IT field tayo lahat, I know naman lahat kayo that are watching this video is majority sa inyo will be in the IT field itself. So be courteous and sa ating mga tech support engineers. Okay, so that's it for this video. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng tech support engineer. So may dalawa tayong classification, phone support and site support, okay, as a tech support engineer. So that's it for this video. Hopefully nagustuhan niyo siya, and support me here sa baba. Okay? Like and follow my page sa Facebook, and also subscribe din kayo sa YouTube ko. Okay? And ilalagay ko dito yung aking free ebook. Okay? Itong free ebook na to, you can download this one from beltran.com/the IT veteran. So, interview scripts and salary negotiation tactics for IT professionals. This ebook will actually help you and guide you, okay, sa interview process ng pagiging isang IT. So, kunyari, yung nag-interview ka na, at least doon sa ebook na yun, nilagay ko doon yung mga most common questions asked ng mga HR and how to answer them. And pagdating mo naman sa, kunyari, ikaw na yung final candidate for the position, you need to know salary negotiation para makahirit ka ng konti sa sweldo mo. Yung konting mahihirit mo na yun will actually very useful sa pandagdag ng panggas mo sa motor, for example, or ng sasakyan mo, pambayad mo ng bill sa bahay, or yung internet connection mo, and many more others. Okay? Imbes na pag binigay sa'yo yung contract, nandun na yung sweldo, tinanggap mo kaagad. That's not how you do it. Okay? You must be able to negotiate yung salary ninyo. Kasi, syempre, pahalagaan mo naman yung sarili mo. Okay? So, that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully, nagustuhan nyo siya. And I'll see you on the next lesson. Bye-bye!